Now, as you'll know, the coronavirus is causing concern the world over, but the World Health Organization has this message for us.
People had suddenly the impression that the virus was in the air, and everybody who go under this cloud of virus will be infected. So this is not the situation. Currently, the virus is transmitted through droplets, and you need a close contact to be infected.
No doubt the reaction to this virus has been considerable. The media, including the BBC, has given it extensive coverage. Many governments have acted decisively to restrict people arriving from China or bring their own people home. And today we had this update from the British Foreign Office saying it now recommends that British nationals who are able to leave China. So that is all British nationals in every part of China. It's also, though, useful to put the scale of this crisis in perspective. We noticed the US health journalist Liz Szabo saying, look, there have been 425 deaths from coronavirus all over the world. Meanwhile, 10,000 Americans have died from the flu this season, and flu season hasn't even peaked. Now, worldwide, flu kills over 600,000 people a year. There are up to 5 million cases of it each year. You could compare that to the roughly 20,000 cases of coronavirus at the moment. Yet, because of these cases, 22 countries have introduced trade and or travel restrictions. Here's the World Health Organization on that.
Such restrictions can have the effect of increasing fear and stigma with little public health benefit.
And this is what China's representative told the WHO.
We believe overreaction by adopting restriction, isolation, and blocking measures are not beneficial to international collaboration, and such measures may lead to more complicated outcome and interference on prevention and control efforts.
And certainly China's under pressure on a range of fronts. Taiwan has launched an extraordinary attack accusing the Chinese of failing to release up-to-date information. Have a listen.
We've seen the Chinese government rudely and unreasonably pressuring Taiwan on the international stage. They're putting political considerations over people's health and safety. This basically is extremely vile.
There's history here, of course. Taiwan's not a WHO member because of China's objections. And while Taiwan maintains its independence, Beijing considers it to be part of China. So every disagreement between the two has to be listened to with that in mind. Another aspect of this story is the illegal wildlife trade in China. The Politburo Standing Committee, this is the top political leadership in China, has now come out to say it's necessary to strengthen market supervision, resolutely ban and severely crack down on illegal wildlife markets and trade. Now, this is an issue because markets selling live animals are known to be a potential source of diseases that are new to humans. And the virus, which started in the city of Wuhan, well, there's speculation that it perhaps found its origin in this market in the city. Here's Navin Singh Khadka from BBC World Service on that.
So major international conservation organizations, what they're saying is China needs to cash in on this opportunity, the situation, and turn this temporary ban into a permanent one. Because as you know, China is the biggest consumer of wildlife products, both legal and illegal. It's been under tremendous pressure for quite some time now. Back in 2003, when we had the SARS outbreak, the Chinese government did put a temporary ban back then as well. But then within a few months, this business, wildlife business, came back, and then it was business as usual.
China's leadership has admitted shortcomings and deficiencies in its response to this crisis. That's a rare admission, and the Politburo Standing Committee has said we must improve our national emergency management system and improve our abilities in handling urgent and dangerous tasks. Well, we know that some warnings were ignored or silenced. Let's focus on this doctor who was working at Wuhan Central Hospital. He noticed 7 cases that he thought looked like SARS. That's a virus that led to a global epidemic in 2003. And in December, he posted a warning about a potential outbreak in a chat group with fellow medics. Shortly afterwards, he was summoned by police and accused of making false statements and being told he'd severely disturbed the social order. He was then given this document to sign, and, well, most of it actually involved language from the authorities rather than from him. He was told, "We solemnly warn you, if you keep being stubborn with such impertinence and continue this illegal activity, you will be brought to justice. Is that understood?" Underneath it, Dr. Lee wrote, "Yes, I do." Well, from there, in January, officials in Wuhan were insisting that only those who came into contact with infected animals could catch this virus. That wasn't true. Also, no guidance was issued to protect doctors. And then Dr. Lee fell ill. But it wasn't until 10 days later, on the 20th of January, that China actually declared an emergency. By the end of January, Dr. Lee posted this picture with the words, "Finally diagnosed." He had the virus. Well, Stephanie Hegarty from BBC World Service has been looking into more details in his case.
He's still in isolation and he's in ICU, but he's able to text and he's been able to post on social media. Definitely not out of the woods, but he's doing okay.
And have there been sanctions for him sharing his diagnosis?
Well, the strange thing is that he's clearly had the confidence to share this story towards the end of January, and that may be because though he was disciplined by the local police, the central authority in Beijing then criticized the police for that move. So that appears to have given him the confidence to then start sharing his story, which is quite strange for doctors in Wuhan or doctors involved in this crisis. We haven't seen many of them speaking out, or any that have. Their posts have been taken down or deleted. This has been up for 4 or 5 days now.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. You've written extensively about this on the BBC News website. How easy is it to communicate with this doctor, or indeed any doctors in Wuhan?
It's not easy, and that's, I think Dr. Lee's case is a clear example of just how well China can control the narrative of this story. And they've been doing that, as I said, by deleting posts, by going to people's houses and telling them to be quiet, as we saw with Dr. Lee. And it's a very impressive control structure.
Now, you're a population specialist for the BBC World Service, and I wonder to what degree the changing nature of China's population and where it lives, more in cities, less in the countryside, is impacting on how China responds to this crisis.
Well, it's probably not a coincidence that this happened just as China was undertaking the biggest human migration in our history. There's an estimate of 3 billion trips taken over the course of 40 days. This happened bang slap in the middle of that while people were celebrating Chinese New Year. And one of the really important things in terms of locking it down was stopping people from moving, stopping people from returning back after the holidays.
That's easier said than done, though, presumably.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not just travel within China on trains and planes, but in the past 10 years, we've seen global number of passengers taking airplanes double, and most of that growth is happening in China.
Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh, to God of the elders and apostles of great mission everywhere. These are citations, see that of Israel scattered abroad, teaching us with sincerity and in truth. Right, so, I give you my latter to that. Right, on this coronavirus. See now, right? You know, that man-made seed, but it's chiefly from Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, according to Proverbs 21. You got that real quick. Right? Proverbs 21. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh. Right? So, hey, that man-made viruses is chiefly from Yahweh, Yahushai, because if the Lord don't want them to do that. Right? The Lord will make it to where them ain't do it. Right? But them hearts is in the hands of the Most High Yahweh, Yahushai. Right? So, hey, is the Most High who do that? Is the Most High who bring forth this virus, this deadly virus? Right? Via Esau. Alright, so 2nd Ezra 16:1. Woe be unto Babylon, and Asia, woe be unto thee. Right, and what it's saying in 2nd Ezra 15:46. And though Asia, that are partaker of the hope of Babylon, because they want to be like Babylon, right? And add the glory of her person, right? Woe be unto thee, verse 47, destruction be unto you, right? Thou wretch, right? Because thou had made thyself like unto her, who's the her Babylon. Touch on this already in the previous lesson, right? So Asia want to be like Babylon, which is America, right? So second Ezra 16:1, woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia, right? Because right now them Chinese and them thinking, them Moabites and them thinking, them is the next superpower, them is the next to rule, right? Them is the next one to be on top, but they're not going and be on top, right? That's why the Most High plague and all that via this coronavirus, right? Woe be unto thee, destruction be unto thee, Egypt and Syria, right? Modern day Egypt today, right? And them Chinese want to be like modern day Egypt, right? They want to be like America, right? And they're real fine technology too. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're way ahead of America. They're way ahead in technology than America, right? So hey, verse 5. Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? Right? Plagues are sent unto you, right? Plagues are sent unto you. What's going on in China now? What's going on around the world now? Because the virus spreading rapidly. They're saying that tool now cross 500. That shit in now no cross 500. You can't believe what I'm paying on the news, right? I 100% sure that they told done is thousands, right? Because bodies just dropping in the street like flies. And I hear they say that the death toll is those who was treated for the virus and who they tried to treat for the virus, right? So the nurse was like, so what about people who came with the virus and wasn't treated and they just died, right? Them not any death toll count, right? So that goes to show is way more than 500 people lost their lives via this virus, right? The Most High killing them, right? So it says verse 5, plagues are sent unto you, the Most High sending plagues on all, right? Isaiah 29. And 9, 196, right? Isaiah 29 and 6. Thou shalt be visited of Yahweh of hosts, right? Yahweh of army, because army means host means armies like, you know, with thunder and with earthquake and with great noise, right? With storm and with tempest and with flame of devouring fire, right? So hey, the Most High Bashim Yashai visiting them Moabites and them in China over there. And they built a hospital in like 2 weeks, 8 days, just nearly 2 weeks. They take to build a hospital with I think it's about 1,600 beds. And they're planning to build our next one. And they say when they finish that one, they're looking at 2,600 beds in all. A144 Kala Leobashi Noshai. Leobashi Noshai Brakata 10:44 p.m. Yeah, come. Yeah, so the Bella Hospital with is 15 to 1,600 beds, and they're planning on building the next one, right, to add it up to 2,600 beds, right? So hey, you see how the Most High judge Moab, right? Well, they play with the Lord. Well, they want to be like America, right? Well, they want to be like America, right? Alright, the Most High, how bashing, now shy, fucking all them, right? Well, they want to be on top. I mean, hey, them Chinese and them, they're making everything. If I'm not mistaken, everything. Right? Every fucking thing, way. Them Chinese in everything, way. Right? And since this coronavirus happened, like, they're taking a real serious toll on the economy. Right? The economy. Like, the stocks dropping. Right? They're losing sales and nobody ain't buying nothing from them. Right? It's a Matthew 24. Matthew 24 and 6. And ye shall hear of wars. I'm gonna start at. Yeah, start at 4. And Yahweh shall answer them. So like and Yahweh shall answer and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. Verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right, because January now start, and when January now start, we in February now. Right, but when January now start, it start over to a bang, you know this thing with Solomon and them. Right, so hey, all now we hearing about wars and rumors of wars. Right? Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation. Right, with Moab, right, rising against Ammon. Right, Ammon rising against Ishmael, you understand? Right, there's nation rising against nation, race wars. Right, and kingdom against kingdom. Right, like China against America, America against Iran, you know. Right, and there shall be famines, right, no food, and pestilences, right, and earthquakes, right, real earthquakes going on, right, famines and pestilences. This big ass pestilence in China, this coronavirus causing famine, because everybody in China snatching the foods out, snatching foods off of the shelves real quick. They're trying to get as much as they can. Right? So reading on earthquakes in diverse places. Right? Verse 8. And these are the beginning of sorrows. Right? And verse 9 going on until they will deliver the my Lord to be afflicted until persecution. Right? So hey, Matthew 24 and 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences. right? The most I jacking up China, right? The most I jacking up China with this pestilence, and this pestilence causing famine, right? Luke 21 and 11, right? And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, right? And famines and pestilences and fearful sights, right? Basically fearful sights, people dropping dead in the street, dead in the hospital. You feel them people who in the hospital seeing people dying in front of them, in getting frightened. I'm scared shitless, right? And there is nothing compared to what coming, right? Compared to Jacob's trouble, what will happen when all hell break loose, right? There is nothing compared to what coming. Newly created these and strange apparitions. We literally going to be seeing demons and spirits out here manifesting themselves, showing themselves. They are fearful sight. Right? So Luke 21:11, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences. Right? This virus causing a time famine. A time famine in China. Yeah, them gooks and them niggas and them. All they wanna eat fucking shit. Yeah, all they wanna eat fucking shit. And that's what they say. They say it spread via the shit they eating, but them eating shit fucking decades now, years now. They're always eating fucking shit. You understand? But hey, that's how it probably spread free, like. They know that they created it in a lab, and they know they carry it in a market and inject it in some fucking bat or snake or pig or whatever, pig, fucking dog or whatever, and from there it spread. Because anyway you take it, they rather start it somehow, right? And that's how they probably do it, right? But Proverbs 21, remember, the hearts of the kings is in the hands of Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. In the hands of the Lord, the hands of Yahweh. Right? So it's chiefly Yahweh controlling them men to create them viruses, to create them deadly viruses. Right? So yeah, I wanted to touch on that. Lord with them was edifying. Right, with that I'd like to say, Kal Halalim La Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kakodash. The Buana said, and Apostle, give me soon, do well. Peace and citation. See you later, Shalom.